This video chart presentation Enzon Pharmaceuticals. It's a NASDAQ-listed stock, trading ticker ENZN. We looked at this chart right back in through here as August was getting underway, talking about the pennant pattern the chart was in. Essentially, this channeling sideways after making this big move early on in June. Stock eventually did just absolutely take off. Went from around $1.09 we were talking about it all the way up to $1.80 or so. Don't know what happened. Being a biotech, it's anyone's guess. But stock came collapsing right back down. Actually fell through a support point around $1, but caught support again right here around 85 cents or so, and is back on the climb. Closed Thursday up 5.5%, 470,000 shares traded. That's just about average volume for it recently. But with the bottom support held, and now stock back up over a support at $1, making the higher low. Want to put this on watch again to see if this has got another push in it. Now, we're not saying anything along the lines of another run to $1.80, but there is some resistance right here around $1.20 that we want to see if it pops through to continue an overall pattern of making higher highs and higher lows over the last month and a half to continue to try and make up some of this lost ground. Now, as always, we'll go ahead and note this MACD climbing. Importantly, the MACD, the blue line, and the pink line, which is referred to as the signal line, back into positive territory. That's something else that we always look for across that center line, is a bullish move. Signals that there's a growing trend in momentum for the chart. Slow still, climbing from those lows back in October. Now holding the upper half of the indicator. Again, it's a bullish sign. And the same thing goes for the money flow index. All giving hints of bullishness and momentum. In that same vein, relative strength index pushed back above 50. You can see the 14 right now at 62. Our attitude is definitely bullishness on this chart, see if it's going to break through. So we want to see things like the RSI hold over top of 50, a break back down below 50. The odds are pretty strong the stock's coming back down and going to test $1. Then it would take a little bit of reevaluation to see if it's potentially going to come back down and test these old lows again. Right now it's primarily on radar to see if it's going to push through a resistance. It's actually right here around $1.18. We're going to draw it at $1.20. As you can see, going back several months, definitely an area of resistance. But it is worth noting that if it can push through $1.20, there's not a lot of resistance in sight. Maybe a little bit right here around this $1.40 mark, the stock gap down. But certainly not picking up until up near $1.60. And then again, potentially those old highs. So as I mentioned, what caught our eye is the higher lows off of the base, stock moving to the upper half of the Bollinger Bands, the slightly higher high at the beginning of December compared to the high in November, and the fact the chart had a pretty nice day on Thursday. So it's worth watching to see how it performs, see if it can break through. I'll go ahead and note real quick the support points to pay attention to. I've already spoken about them a couple times, but a key one for us would be this dollar mark. It's already a decent little drop from the $1.17 close on Thursday. If you see that on an increase in volume, stock's obviously moving to the bottom half of the Bollinger Bands, which is bearish, and the odds of it coming back down here and testing these lows are really increased. So this dollar mark is pretty important to us, and even so much as we'd be looking right here on $1.05 at this recent short-term support level to see if that would hold. It's interesting to come back and revisit a chart 4 or 5 months later, note that it did make a real strong break out of this consolidation, and that it continued to attract buyers down here around this level to put itself back on the rise. So let's pay attention to it now going forward to see how it performs. But as always, merely my interpretation of the ENZN chart. I'm not a financial consultant, strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult the qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpenny.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or this video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.